This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Razor Consultant standing by. We'll take caller 9 now, 844-999. Ola, you will play Profile this coming up in minutes. And we got your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, it says, are thigh-high Uggs the next big fashion trend?
I hope the answer is no.
A designer at Paris Fashion Week thinks so.
Have you seen them?
I have not seen them.
Are they still the boot, or are they like a nylon or something?
No, that's what's weird. Remember the original Ugg, like the one you think about Pamela Anderson wearing?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but it goes up to the thigh, but it's not skin. Here's the bottom line. I don't know how they stay on. Because they're not skin tight. It's still like a boot.
I know this is horrible. And I know Uggs makes other shoes, and they make good shoes.
Yeah.
They just don't look like those glorified leg warmers with footsies on them, right? So when I think of Uggs, like most people, I think of those boots. I don't know what it is. I've hated them from day one. I equate it, if you're wearing them, and this is very unfair, but it's just, if you wear them, I just assume you're an idiot. I know that's horrible, and it might be because of the people that we saw the most.
100%.
Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, they don't do a lot to lend me faith that anything intellectual is happening. But most people I know are not even near as stupid as them. But if you're wearing them, I can't not think that you're an idiot. So the idea of a thigh-high one is you're an idiot that puts out.
Well, and they look like house shoes, if you will.
Yeah,
just house slippers. During the wintertime, come out with hot cocoa and PJs.
Not something you meant to be seen in.
Seems like you can only wear it with a skirt, so, you can't put pants over them, I guess.
Yeah, right.
You can tuck your sweats into them.
A film crew got arrested.
I also wonder, sorry, Mike, but I also wonder, too, don't those boots have to be funky? Nobody's wearing socks for those things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you couldn't.
Get that inner thigh sweat in there. Oof.
Oh, Mike, you know how to spice up a conversation.
Yeah, man, I got it.
Some of that inner thigh sweat.
Well, the fuzz on the inside wicks it away. It's all
smells a little bit like genitalia, a little bit like knee pit, somewhere between.
Lost my headphones. Hang on.
I can't place this smell, but I can tell you it's not good.
Right. I don't know what part of your body it's from, but I don't want to see it.
I can tell it's from the inside.
A film crew got arrested at Newark Airport for putting a fake bomb in one of their carry-ons so they could film a TSA's reaction.
Did they film it all the way to jail?
I have no idea. They worked for a CNBC show called Staten Island Hustle, but it's not clear if they did it for the show or not.
Well, I hope they got permission before they tried anything like that. If they followed around the Homeland Security as they were trying to run their security tests, that's one thing. But then again, you don't want to show what the protocol is for how they find what they find.
No, these guys, the whole thing, they wanted an honest reaction, and they got one.
And that's what we need for our security is false alarms.
Yeah, please, put a fake bomb in your security. Yuck, 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 we're filming it.
Doubt.
The other thing is, if I'm at the airport, it's not like the airport moves along quickly, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of rhyme or reason to it, so when you do that, no, I got to wait longer to board a plane because you wanted a funny moment. Here's a funny moment, I'm going to pee on you. Film that.
A YouTuber in the UK recently tried to get a hotel in Dublin to give her a free room. Now the hotel says all social media influencers are banned from staying there.
Dang.
Which, to be honest, I don't disagree with. You might be a celebrity, you might be the new age of TV star, if you will, because YouTube's practically TV now, but you still got to pay for things. That's kind of what we do around here, is we pay for goods and services.
I just like that she was shocked by it too.
Was she really?
Yeah, she's like, I've never had treatment like this. It's unbelievable.
Have you stolen before?
You asked for a free room.
Yeah.
Is she one of the ones that makes millions of dollars doing this too?
Probably.
No, that's the funny thing. I think she only has 100,000 followers for those people, which isn't that crazy. So
yeah, no, it's not.
I think she just overextended here, to be honest with you.
Well.
I've never been treated like this. It's when I treat someone like dirt, a lot of times the way they respond to me is not the way I normally treat them.
True enough. A 39-year-old man in Utah robbed a bank but left his car keys in the bank. Then he tried to run away instead of driving, but his bag full of money got snagged on something and ripped. Cash started falling out on the street, and he was arrested.
The aristocrat.
That is probably about as worse as that could go for anybody.
Not a
ever.
good day.
No.
Not how you planned that one out.
So you had a bad day.
We've all had a bad day at work, I guess.
Not me. Every day's a good day, Mike.
His last day on the job for a while.
The cops used the money to find him. They just follow the trail of money. You think that they started slipping a little bit of a bill or two?
Yeah, like I said, if you drop $20,000, the official police report say you lost $8,000.
That's right. A 66-year-old woman with a history of sneaking onto planes without a ticket was caught doing it again last week after she flew from Chicago to London. She's been in the news several times before.
Yeah.
How did she pull it off?
Right?
I don't know what she does. There's nothing about her that quote unquote looks suspicious. That whole clean cut living thing. So I don't know if she cons her way on. You know what I mean? With that, oh my God, I gave up my boarding pass and fake tears and all that crap.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. But in my experience, this is the third time I've read about her, same woman, doing this.
Huh.
And it's like, I don't know, it's like being a kleptomaniac. Like she just can't stop herself from doing
Like the 80-year-old jewelry thief.
Right. Like you're 80. You know, why not? It's kind of like the Pentagon with hackers, right? If you can hack into the Pentagon, you'll definitely get arrested, and then you might get a job. You would think with her, like, why don't you try to do something productive then for airport security? Because you figured out whatever their shortcomings are, you understand what it is.
Right. Old people.
Yeah.
Old
People
people and
feel
kids.
bad for old people.
Yeah.
Travel for
Yeah,
free.
and children. You're right.
She probably looks old even for 66. So she probably does, like you said, pulls the, oh, Lord, what did I do with that?
That's the
boarding
only thing I
pass?"
can guess. That's the only thing I can guess.
She puts on her magnifying glasses.
You might want
Sonny boy!
You might be able to get on a little computer puddle jumper from an hour and a half flight, 2 hours. But when you're traveling into a different country,
You're definitely going to get caught, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like if she's done this before, where she's traveling to a different country, then
I don't think
how
she
do you-
did country. I
I guess
know she's done it,
You
but-
can get through customs if you have your passport. You just
That
you
was
just
her
gotta get
problem.
there. You got to
She
get there.
didn't have her passport. So think about this. If she had brought her passport, there's a because they don't check your boarding pass when you leave. So if she had brought her passport. She got busted in customs because England's like, we're not letting you in our country without a passport.
All right.
A woman in Australia recently got fake eyebrow tattoos and had some sort of allergic reaction that made her forehead swell up. So she posted a photo online and told people not to go to the same clinic. Now they're suing her for costing them $150,000 worth of business.
I mean, is it their fault or does she just have a reaction?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Maybe you should just stick with the eyebrows that God gave you instead of tattooing new ones on that you're going to hate 2 years from now.
if you wait long enough, they'll grow.
Wouldn't you go to a professional tattoo artist?
I don't know if she did or not.
Yeah,
well, yeah, that's one
If they
thing.
said that's what they do, like
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I
wouldn't
mean, a
overthink
lot
it.
of times people that get pierced, you're at a tattoo place, but you trust that the person who says they're piercing you, it's what they do.
Wonder what expression she decided to get forever.
Forever.
She just looks shocked.
The forever look.
A post office near New Orleans had to call in the bomb squad about a suspicious package, but it turned out that the box was filled with 70 pounds of human waste.
That's suspicious.
Oh,
That's
crap?
a lot.
The man who mailed it was taken for a mental evaluation.
Yeah, because he had to save 70 pounds of crap.
Miles, you bring up a great point. Where did he get 70 pounds?
I mean, he had to. Think about all the work, all
Yeah,
the
where
all
do
the
you-
all the meals, all the
But on the
everything.
same token, I don't know how much a poop usually weighs. It's in the bowl.
Well, didn't we
Savor
talk
it.
about it like your average number
gonna say-
2 is what, like half a
I was
pound?
going to say it's going to be way over 100 dukes to just be able to put that package.
Even if
yeah.
you put a pound and a half out, man,
Right.
that's like 50 poops.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's a ridiculous thing to try.
This guy really did not like this person.
yeah,
so
and I like
much
the idea
corn
he was
in
sitting
here.
around being like, I got the time.
70. Do you call your friend? To say,
know,
hey,
you know
don't
what?
flush it.
It's
You know
time.
what? I'm going to order another meat pie. I don't care.
There's so many pizza boxes
I'm
outside
setting
the store.
goals.
A 53-year-old man in San Francisco started a fire inside of a public bathroom. Then he got locked inside and couldn't get away. He's okay, but he was arrested.
Dumbass.
Jesus Christ, that is dumb upon dumb.
Right.
Start a bathroom inside this bathroom.
A woman in South
Fire.
Africa trolled her husband from beyond the grave.
No,
How
she
did you
didn't.
do that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is
The Men's Room presents Profile
Hey,
This.
Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Adam. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, fellas.
Hola. All right, Adam, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir, I do.
Fantastic. Your story begins with a boozy night in West Harlem, where it ended up resulting in a drunken man impaling his groin on a metal fence. And him impaling his groin at a metal fence, believe it or not, also sparked a fight between two other partiers. The 27-year-old man, he suffered the painful injury on last week, actually, ended up spraying blood to the top of the bars and down to the sidewalk below. He didn't scream, but they're saying probably because he was so drunk. Now, the painful predicament prompted two parties that were still drinking. They were arguing about whether enough had been done to help the guy. Now, I want you to think about this. They're standing on a balcony over top of this guy. This guy's hanging off of a fence, bleeding profusely from his groin because he has fallen and landed there. And they're having an argument about whether or not they've done enough to help the guy out while the guy's sitting there on a fence hanging by his twig and berries. Now, a witness and his friends had said they started drinking on the second floor apartment, but everyone else became irritated because this guy that impaled himself apparently was a little drunk, a little disorderly, getting too loud. When they were going to throw him out, he decided just to jump off of the balcony, thought he'd hit the street below. That's when he landed by the twig and berries on the fence. Anyway, the cops, they managed to get him off of the fence. He went to the hospital. He will be arrested. But do you believe that this genius is black, white, Mexi, or Jew?
Ooh, where did you say it was?
It's in West Harlem, New York.
I don't know. New York's kind of got a bit of everything, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Is
does.
that saying West Harlem like its own city, or like Harlem like we know Harlem in Manhattan?
Man, it's Harlem in Manhattan, but they say West Harlem, and it's hard for me to know if,
All right.
you know.
I think if they say
I didn't know if it
anything
was like a
other than
suburb.
Harlem, it's probably a better area. You know what
Well, I
I mean?
don't know.
Like,
Harlem-
it's kind of like Southwest.
Gentrification.
That's
No,
what-
man.
it's wealthy. as
Harlem's
hell.
all
Yeah.
right. The
Yeah.
Bronx is where you don't want to be right now. Like, the Bronx apparently is still pretty bad, but Harlem, hell, the Clintons moved there, for Christ's sake. Hey.
Did it say why he jumped, or was it just because he was drinking?
He was
drinking?
asked to leave the party above because he was getting a little drunker and rowdier than everyone else. And they weren't being mean. He could have just walked down the stairs, but he decided in his drunken stupor to jump off of the balcony and ended up landing groin first onto the metal fence below.
Well, it's my experience that the drunk, obnoxious dude at the party that would do that kind of stupid ass is probably white.
You gonna go with that for your final
I don't know,
answer?
What do you think?
I mean, I'm with you. It sounds like a crazy white guy. It also could be a drunk black dude that freaked out and was just like, I'm getting out of here. But it,
That's fair.
I'm going to go Jewish.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go white final answer.
All right, we're going to find out if he was black, white, Mexi, or Jewish next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Profile this takes us to Harlem. A guy partying a little too hard with his buddies, and they said, hey, man, you need to get the hell out of here. And instead of walk out the front door like most people, he jumped off the balcony. He did not see the railing below him and was actually impaled, I'm assuming, on the stoop bar that goes down the
Yeah, it's like the wrought iron fences in front of a house.
and the old brownstone kind of thing. But either way, went straight through the...
he poked his brownstone.
the giblets, yes.
And but we asked you, Adam, we said, you believe that this genius is black, white, Mexi, or Jew? And in the end, you went white. Mexi. Yes, indeed.
Dios míos.
Not even close. Now for all the TV news all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon!
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
You know, Miles, sometimes you'll talk about watching old shows. So this weekend, I was watching an episode of Coach. Because I had talked about how
Coach's dad died, or not his dad. He played on
assistant coach.
TV, or the assistant coach, or whatever was on the show.
yeah, Luther, who was played by
Jerry Van Dyke.
Jerry Van Dyke, yes.
Jean-Claude
right?
Van Damme.
Yeah.
That is wrong. So I watched
Dick's brother.
Yeah, it was one of the Van Damme brothers, Van Dyke brothers.
That's right.
I know. So afterwards, an episode of Johnny Carson,
Okay.
the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson came on. Right. So first I go, man. When I was a child, I loved Johnny Carson, right? It's kind of weird because the episode that was airing was before I was born.
And it's normally they air those the actual day of. So if you're watching
If it-
it on
right, December
March
3rd,
13th,
right.
it's March 13th, 1977. So they try to get at least close on those.
Well, I was trying to tell Mike earlier, the amazing thing to me watching that episode of Carson is just some of the stuff he says. Like, it's a little more sexist.
Oh,
There's a
sure.
couple, like, kind of like, that seems a little racist. But, like, nobody seems to mind. And also, it seemed like he was doing more kind of, like, obviously he had jokes written.
Yeah.
But it seemed a lot more
Ad-libby?
ad-libby and loose than, like, today's shows are.
Especially when he's in character. doing like
Yeah.
the Swami or whatever. It gets, because they just lose it, much like the Carol Burnett show, and most of the time they can't keep it together. There's a lot of reactionary comedy from Johnny, just his facial expressions. Like he'll just look at the camera and stare, you know.
I think he was more of a performer than a lot of the guys. Which is not knocking the guys now, it's just a difference. He was a performer and happened to host a show, right?
Right. Yeah, and just, that's what I noticed the most is like, guys nowadays, you'll talk to your band leader or whatever. I mean, he was just ripping into the drummer. And then, like, Ed McMahon started jumping in, too. And I was like, God damn. Like, these shows are hard.
He's right, you do something.
More of a roast.
You are correct, sir. Right, but you're right. A lot of those shows, too, man, it was just everybody cutting up and laughing there. So sometimes, we know this, we do a show every day. Sometimes you start laughing about something. Mike knows more about this than maybe the four of us do. But you start laughing about something. Did you just fart?
I did.
All right. It's very hard.
Sorry. Oh.
No. It needs to come over here, Rob. Just throw it. If we
No, don't toss it to him.
Why?
Get away with this.
I don't want any of that. I would rather eat deviled eggs, not smell them.
It's amazing because the smell's exactly the same. But,
Yeah, but
when
you're
you're
gonna
about
ruin
to
me
eat
off
them,
deviled eggs.
you don't mind them. But when you smell them on the backside, you're like, why did I eat those?
Man, if you ruin deviled eggs for me, I will be so pissed at you.
Keep your mouth closed.
I don't think he'll ruin them for you. It's too tasty.
I might ruin them today.
God.
Giving up deviled eggs after the holidays? Let me come over. I can help.
So, this news reporter is talking about Bison Hump Day. Bison Hump Day. I mean, I don't blame her for laughing. This is out of Denver 7 ABC.
Something special at the National Western Stock Show. Today is Bison Hump Day. Ranchers will meet ahead of the show to talk about ways to improve. Mitch is making me laugh. Ways to improve the bison population. Now, some of the talk will be conservation. Mitch. Some will talk new technology to manage the herds. This is all part of the Roaming to Success campaign that aims to increase bison population from 400,000 to more than 1 million animals. I'm done. I'm done with this.
You're having a hard time this morning.
Bison Hump Day.
Right. You can watch that video at the Men's Room Facebook page. Well, that's the other thing, too. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, it's like a joke. Like hang out with bison on Wednesdays.
Right.
Like, no. They're legit encouraging the bison to have sex.
Right.
Yeah,
Like they need more bison.
They go and talk to him. Have a TED Talk. All right, everybody. All you bison, listen up. There's only 400,000 of them.
Let's get it on.
I know. That's the problem for humans. There's too many stats out there.
What do you mean?
Like, I might try to run that game one time at a bar. Like, listen, I know you're a little out of my league, but we don't have a lot of humans.
And we just got to do this.
We got to do this, right? Not for me. It's not a TED thing.
It's not a gratification.
This is a human race thing. Mm-hmm. Want to keep it going.
You so selfish you ain't going to save the world? Okay.
Right?
According to the survey we had earlier, if you tell people they're going to procreate, they're less inclined to want to.
Yeah, but I get the feeling if Ted's saying it, since we know he's lying, he'll be just fine.
Yeah. In this case, I
No, seriously. We're going to reproduce here.
That's why I'm so horny.
No, I just wear a condom for protection. It's for you more than me.
Obviously, it's that time of year where you get into some playoffs and stuff. Have we talked about Tony Romo as an announcer?
Not so much.
All right. People are back and forth. He does make some odd noises, so let's just hear a couple of his weird noises.
Fournette once again gets here, sees him, and then does his little spin again. Not now. Oh, that's loose. That is definitely. Oh.
Okay.
Well, he's into the game.
Yeah.
I see.
He is definitely into
Thank
the
you,
game.
Miles. That's what I was going to say. I know some people. Yeah, some people are like kind of make fun of him because how excited he gets and everything. But I'm with you. He's legit excited.
He is. And look, if the worst thing people are going to do is make fun of you because your level of excitement makes you sound a little silly, I think that's the best thing that can happen if you're the color guy on a sports broadcast.
Your job is
Yeah.
to try to explain people what is taking place on the field. This guy just stepped off the
Right.
field. So if you get really nerdy into the game and what's going on in the game, you can appreciate what Tony Romo is saying because anytime someone does something, he's reading the check. He can see it from up above. It's much easier to see it from up above than it is to see
But
it
what you
sometimes
do
on
here,
the
though,
field.
if you're Jim Nance, all right, so you just call any standard play, and I'll be Tony, just because you're right, he is watching everything on the field. Well, this is what happens, right?
All right, let's see here. Jaguars have the ball on their own 35,
Ooh,
third
don't
and
throw it
4.
there. Right? You realize, but he's out loud. He's already telling you that whoever the quarterback is about to make a mistake. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't look left.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, Jim Nantz is dancing up and down the fact that he doesn't have to deal with Phil Simms.
Oh, God.
Well, I think that's the other funny.
Or Boomer Esiason, it's the same person. Either one. I mean, I don't care which one you put it. It's the same frickin' person.
Yeah. And Romo, I mean, look, I never liked Tony Romo as a player.
Sure.
Because he played for the Cowboys.
You're a Skins fan.
Right, but as Tony Romo as a commentator, he's very likable.
Right.
Like, he seems like he's having a fun time. Like, I like it. It's all right, so he makes some weird noises.
I didn't like Bill Cowher until he retired from coaching.
Right.
And I respected the guy. I was like, you're the Steelers coach, man. I have a hard time with you. But now that he's doing whatever he does in his pregame, I'm like, oh, he's fantastic.
As far as broadcasters going out and doing something that I never would have thought, I think that my shock moment was the later game with the coverage with Terry Bradshaw. At the trophy presentation, he goes up there and knows the words to the Eagles fight song.
I know.
Now,
but he screwed that up.
Did he screw it up?
Philly giving away a trophy, and he starts the song, but then he tried to cut it off.
But people are going to sing the whole thing.
He only wanted to sing like the first two lines and have everybody kind of say it. And then he goes, all right, well, let's, and even Jeffrey Lurie,
yeah. Keep singing it, you know.
Right. He's about to get the trophy, and even he's like singing it. Like, right, you started these Eagles people that song. You can't stop them.
If you get any city to start singing whatever their fight song is, they're going to sing it until that fight song is done, right?
Right.
Well, if you have a fight song and say, hey, guys, let's sing it, guess what they're going to do? They're going to sing it. And they just found out they're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to sing their frickin' song.
Yeah, and it's a fight song, man. You got to spell something out at the end. There's going to be some fist pumps. Like, something has to happen there.
Every word I know how to spell is at the end of a fight song.
Yeah. One time I was sitting in a bar. Actually, I think I was sitting in a bar with Miles and his wife, and we were watching a Maryland game, so I sang the fight song. She's like, you could spell that really well. And I was like, yeah, well, as a child, I've heard the end of that fight song my entire life. So it's pretty easy to spell Maryland.
And that's how you learn to spell it.
Yeah, basically.
Maryland.
Pole ice, any of that kind of stuff.
Pole ice.
Yeah, but there's only one L in there.
Hey, man, the pole ice is coming.
But pole ice works for police.
Not really, because it's Police.
Yeah, but lice, like a pole.
Oh, pole lice.
Yeah,
pole ice.
Like lice that can't afford to be on a rich person's head.
If you say pole, Poll, or Pole.
But he said pole.
I'm remembering it from my brain, brother, and that's how I spell pole, P-O-L.
Okay.
Can't spell pole, but I can spell pole ice.
You are correct, sir, but for my brain, it works out right. Peter Dinklage, everybody knows him from Game of Thrones. By the way, did you know he's American?
Yeah.
I was shocked by that.
Because the last name Dinklage just sounds
and
like
he's on Game of Thrones.
No, we don't do short people.
No, I just assume they're all European or something.
Right. Yeah.
English?
Well, Dinklage sounds like a very English name.
His name is Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
I mean, could you get more of an
Not
English
a little
name?
monkey.
Get in here, little fella. Oh, Peter Dinklage. Anyhow, he's American, folks.
I'm going to put my Peter in your Dinklage.
Well, you could tell I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones. I've never heard him speak. And obviously, I've never watched an interview with him till today because I was like, oh, bitch. Oh, fellow's American.
The one that always blows my mind is a person, that's obviously that good of an actress where the first time you talk, you realize they're British. You're like, huh.
Oh, there's a couple people.
Yeah,
like we always say, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
It's like we always say.
Or McNulty.
Well, anytime you see a brother with an English, I don't care who you are, you're surprised, right?
Lennox Lewis is the one.
Idris Elba. Like, if you don't
I very much like trumpets, and I'm looking forward to boxing on Saturday.
The dude in the Star Wars movies, all right? The black dude in the Star Wars movie.
He's English?
Yes.
Everybody in outer space is English.
He's English.
That's why you have to watch
That's
Star
what
Wars.
I'm saying. See, here's his brother, right? He's just telling, I was quite happy when they challenged me for Star Wars.
The British,
the cheeky monkey.
The British colonized the universe, according to Star Wars. The bad, the good, all of them. They're all
But the difference
British.
is, if you have an English accent in the Star Wars, chances are you're evil.
You are evil.
Yeah.
Hello, kill him.
Well, they were talking to this American Dinklage, right? And basically they asked him about the show. Is it surprising they brought it to an end? Basically, he says what you think he'd say. He says it's bittersweet. It's always kind of the sad part of our business because you've had this great run, but it's time to move on. Basically, it sounds like a few of them are kind of ready to do something else other than Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think you know when it's time.
Right. Even Kit Harington, who, of course, is Jon Snow. He said he's grown tired of, quote, the incessant Bieber-like fame. I like what he says. Look, I'm glad I experienced it, but it's done. You can't go on for much longer. There's another girl. She said she's really excited. She's been working on it. Basically, they said she spent a third of her life doing that show.
Jesus.
Right? Because it's been on for 7 years. Since she's 21. You spent a third of your life.
I think Portlandia kind of had the same thing. Like, we've done, we've done as much as we can do here. It's just time to close the chapter on it. Not that it can't be redone or we can come back.
Meanwhile, Kelsey Grammer's like, what are you talking about?
It's not like a
find one role and do it forever.
Yeah, in cartoons, for some reason.
Tony Danza.
Maybe because
Play a
cartoons
character
don't.
named Tony.
It might just be because they don't age.
Yeah, they never age, so it does. As long as you got the voice, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. But you're right. Like regular TV shows, you're like, oh man, we gotta work something. The look on his face.
You look like you're enjoying it, though.
No, he looks miserable.
These are not.
That's what worries me.
These are deviled egg farts, man. I'm telling you, that's a whole different creature. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's a chicken.
I don't know. I like deviled eggs.
Made with real devil.
Now then, Satan. They call them deviled eggs for a reason.
Put Satan in your butt.
Ranchy, creamy.
I'm not religious, but I have Satan in my ass. Ooh, that smells like that smells like a dried turd on a hot day on a sidewalk. Just all crackling.
You say in El Paso?
Mm-hmm.
Smells like a dry well.
105-degree day and just one load turd baking in the sun.
You know, like when your power goes out for 18 hours and you open the fridge? It's like that.
No, it's more dry than that.
Remember
it's
your
like
great-grandpappy?
It's like a place that once
right
held
before
water.
It died, the way he smelled.
I like to call it air jerky.
You know when you go in after your grandparents
Dry
have used
age.
the bathroom and you know nothing solid happened? But you can see the lettuce floating. Beached piece of lettuce on the side of the bowl.
I pooped an hour ago. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Still reeks in here. I'm not positive. You threw me off with all these farts. Let's go to some thank you notes from Mr. Fallon.
All right.
Thank you, guy who accidentally triggered a missile warning in Hawaii for basically sending the most extreme "you up" text ever. It's like, yeah, I'm up. What is going on?
This is not a drill.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Cracklin' Oat Bran, for giving humans the chance to eat cat food. I like that stuff.
Oh, it's tasty.
I like all that stuff, man. Thank you, Computer Updates, for reminding me tomorrow for 10 years straight. Everything's working now. I don't need this.
It's all good. I don't know nothing.
Where's the action?
Thank you, Winter Coat Pockets, for being a time capsule filled with tissues from last spring. Thank you, Flu Season, for forcing me to figure out how to get through an entire day just using my elbows.
Anyway, do you want it? Oh, never mind. I got it.
Thank you, Sour Cream, for not being called taco yogurt. There you go.
Those are my thank you notes.
Taco yogurt.
I know, that sounds so horrible, doesn't it? I don't know that anything outside of yogurt sounds like if you put any word in front of yogurt, right? What do we say, man yogurt or
German yogurt?
Yeah, but
Woman yogurt?
Even if you
Yogurt.
try to make something cute, like puppy yogurt,
The yogurt
it's
railroad.
still not good, right? Baby
Yeah.
yogurt. What else is cute and fluffy?
salty yogurt,
What is Canadian yogurt? It's probably cottage cheese.
gravy,
It's got curds in it.
All right.
right?
Poutine gravy?
I don't know. I feel like I guess they're just putting it on poutine. Shouldn't act like up in Canada throwing gravy on everything.
Still say German's the best. German yogurt.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's no real great or way to say yogurt without just talking about yogurt.
Right, if it's not a flavor. You can say
You can
strawberry
say
yogurt.
Greek.
Right, Greek.
No one's
Greek
passionate.
yogurt.
Yeah, but somebody get away with Greek yogurt, but if you just go a little bit over, say about Turkish yogurt. Like, nobody wants that. Right? It's the difference. You got Greek yogurt, what's wrong with Turkish?
Turkish yogurt sounds like you're torturing somebody.
Sounds like
I don't even know
tzatziki
why.
sauce. Isn't that
I just feel
tzatziki
like
sauce?
every time you open it, there's hair on the top. Instead of mixing it with fruit, you mix it with actual hair.
Delicious.
Turkish yogurt.
I mean, you're right. I guess it's tzatziki sauce. I don't know. Turkish yogurt, though, man, that sounds terrible. Right? That still sounds bad.
Yeah, I would not want it.
How about Lebanese yogurt? It's the same thing.
I would trust Lebanese yogurt. I don't know what Turkish yogurt.
Because it seems like it should be from Lebanon.
Right. It sounds like something that makes sense.
It's Greek. It's in the area. Like Greek yogurt.
I'm okay
big. Like that whole Mediterranean could get away with yogurt.
What about Peruvian yogurt?
I'd eat it.
Damn. Oh, maybe just you did.
Peruvian yogurt.
Don't do that to the country of Peru.
He's making Peruvian yogurt. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. We have your headlines coming up with Mike Hawk in minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Women's marches set record coast to coast, except in Maine, where they threw a T-Rex party. Philadelphia police grease light poles to prevent climbers, but that didn't stop one guy named Marty, or 3 or 4. Russian police searching man's home, go to the basement, find a crocodile living there. Delta changes rules so you won't be flying with a monkey, spider, or hare. And a big volcano on the Philippines is about to blow. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, for our top story, we go to South Africa, where a woman had one final request of her husband as she was on her deathbed, ready to pass on into the next world. She asked her husband after she passes to remember to water the plants. And being a devoted husband, he did for 5 years after passing, 5 years after her passing, until he ultimately moved from the home. That's when he discovered that the plants that she asked him to water were actually made out of plastic, and she pulled one final prank on him on her way out.
Oh, wow. What was that?
Well, that was it.
Oh, that was the final prank. Yeah. Okay, I was like, what else is there? What else did she do to this guy?
Damn, man. That's funny.
It's one of those stories that I wish that, you hear the stories where you hear ghostly voices and whatnot. When he found that out, I just wanted him to hear her cackle in the background. That's right.
All the ghosts.
How many times is he going to do it? That's great. I don't know why. I think I would love that. Most people would well up with the thought of a loved one gone, but that would just make me laugh.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's great.
It's great. Around the world in Russia, police were searching the home of a man involved in staging reconstructions of historic military battles, looking for undeclared weapons, and they came across a shocking discovery. On their way into the basement, they noticed a crocodile resting in a pool of water. The owner
That is a shocking discovery.
The owner explained that he had owned the animal for years.
That's shocking as well.
Which, yeah, exactly. Why in the hell would you just have a crocodile downstairs?
How do you keep a saltwater crocodile in your basement alive, feed it, care for it? You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen?
Definitely asking the wrong person.
Well, I go beyond how and say why. I got Lucy in my apartment. I keep her in there because I like to pet her at night. She cuddles when I'm at home all by myself. You can't do that with a crocodile.
I mean, you can't explain why people do what they do, but look, man, you might have a python that grows up to be, 15 feet long before you have to get rid of her or something. I understand you keep that in a cage, but a saltwater crocodile living in your basement?
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, what kind of pool do you have down there?
It decides to start trying to climb the stairs.
Right. I mean, even if you had a big bathtub in there, that's not good. This is a crocodile. This isn't a caiman. This isn't an alligator.
Right.
If you see the picture of this thing, he'd had it for a few years. It is a big-ass saltwater crocodile.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. It's in his basement.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I mean, that's impressive, but geez,
what's the end goal, right?
Here's the one thing I would say, not knowing much about the crocodile species. I truly believe, though, if you put that thing back into the wild, it could probably make it.
It's somehow I think they're fine.
They'd be okay. You know what I mean? It might have a fight or two with another crocodile, but still.
Right. It's the one that survived everything.
You would hope so. Exactly.
Everything.
Right. That and a cockroach.
We go to Portland, Maine, for our latest edition of Weird News. In Monument Square, dozens of people dressed in T-Rex costumes swarmed the square and began to dance, growl, and mill around.
They're T-Rexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of T-Rexes.
Yeah.
They used to dance 65 million years now, but I'm sure.
That seems normal to me. They made weird noises. They scratched stuff.
There's a ton of people there, though, man. They had a huge-ass party.
Hundreds of people were in there, and there were dozens of T-Rexes, those cool little inflatable ones, just going nuts. And I don't get it.
I mean, look, I've seen it. Those new T-Rexes, I've seen one on a river, on a paddle boat. I mean, I've seen one get married. Those T-Rexes.
You saw a T-Rex get married?
Yeah.
I've seen one conducting an orchestra.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
They were so versatile.
They really are. We need to bring it back so that he can show us his ways.
Please, mighty T-Rex.
Good times.
You're so gifted.
Delta Airlines is putting their foot down on a new regulation on people flying with animals. They've had issues lately with people bringing, quote, emotional support animals onto flight, as the number of animals misbehaving, running around the cabin, defecating, and biting other passengers is increasing.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Aren't all animals emotional support animals?
If it's your pet, right?
Right?
Yeah.
I got this because I hate it.
I was thinking about that as I typed it up. Like I said, if I'm at home all by myself, the only thing that keeps me from diving into depression is the cat on my lap just purring away.
You know, Mike, somehow that sounds even sadder.
That is sad. God almighty.
God damn, Mike, that's it? The cat?
The cat.
You've got a lot to live for.
The wall between you
man.
and spiraling into depression as you sit at home alone.
Sometimes if I'm sitting there in the dark, things get a little bit lonely, man.
Well, I get loneliness. But,
all right.
But the cat
the
on
way
your
you
lap.
phrase that, the only thing between me and dark depression is the cat.
That's right.
Mr.
Keeps me
Meowgie.
happy when she's scratching the living hell out of me. Makes
She's
me happy.
perfect.
I am already scared about the day something happens to that cat. For you, for your family, for everyone involved.
I'm not going to be able to come into work today.
You can have Dr. Gomez.
Gomez.
Sure, he's yours.
But,
Oh, feeling bad? Here's one that bites.
that's right.
Take a feral
Here's
one.
one that'll kick your ass.
There you go.
That's great.
It's true.
Give yourself meaning of life. Have something to take care of for the rest of its
I
life.
can calm her
That
with
wants to attack you.
That's right.
I can calm her with Sheba.
That apparently wants to just be in the room when you're masturbating on an iPad.
Come on, give me a minute.
That's
Stare
it for
into
your
your eyes.
headlines with that. Where's the button, Mike Hawk is up?
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Drunk and Charged Ryan Castle's in the house to sing spin. I think that we're going to have songs that people think are about asses.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, and the return of Ass Men's Room. That's all on tap next time.
All right, until next time, do what you do best, and for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.